Greeting to all my wonderful students and parents. India is a rich mine of culture that has evolved through thousands of years and is manifested in the form of arts, literature, traditions, linguistic expressions, artifacts, heritage sites and much more. Millions of people from all over the world participate in, enjoy and benefit from this cultural wealth by visiting India for tourism, purchasing Indian handicrafts, appreciating Indian classical literature, practicing yoga and meditation, being inspired by Indian philosophy and enjoying India's diverse music and art. It is this culture and natural wealth that truly make India incredible India. This is the India that the founder principal of Vidyaniketan Public School, Srimati Prema Rajagopal, always wanted the children to grow up in. With a certain belief, she conceptualized the initiative India Insight. Her thought into this project was straightforward. Her passion and enthusiasm were to instill the spirit of India in children by creating awareness of our beautiful country's history, tradition and ethos. The preservation and promotion of India's cultural wealth must be given high priority. Cultural awareness is one of the major components in the development of children because it is only through the development of strong sense and knowledge of their own cultural history, arts, languages and traditions that children can build a positive cultural identity, self-esteem and appreciate other cultures and identities. It is heartening to witness the number of initiatives by the Government of India like Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to celebrate 75 years of progressive India and its glorious history, people, culture and achievements. This Mahotsav is dedicated to the people of India to materialize the Prime Minister's vision of igniting India 2.0 fueled by the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is also encouraging to see initiatives like this being strongly promoted in the new education policy with a number of other programs to foster languages, art and culture in schools. Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat being one of them. More than 100 destinations have been identified as a part of this project where educational institutions may send their students to study their social, political and cultural history and also their contributions to modern science. India Insight, an amazing rendezvous which started in 2004, is diversifying this year by providing various platforms for debating and painting. It goes without saying that these events will take you closer to the heart and soul of our country. The reason why children should participate in India Insight is loud and clear. But don't forget, what is equally important is how you contribute continually, consciously and work towards making a Shreshth Bharat a reality. So I hope all of you will participate in the events with enthusiasm and feel and understand the cultural heritage of our country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is me, Big Brain. A huge welcome to all of you to the big world final of India Insight, a journey that started in 2004. The vision of a great educator, a teacher, an institutional founder and builder, Mrs. Prema Rajagopal. Her vision was to build a nation with positive-minded youngsters who are really knowledgeable and passionate about their nation. India today celebrates 75 years of its independence. India today has a new education policy which advocates the knowledge of India as mandatory for all our children in schools. One educator thought about it way back in 2004. Today, it is perhaps appropriate that the nation makes it a requirement for all of us, and what better to take this quiz in a grand style. International participation from across nations, as we even have a finalist today representing us all the way from the Sultanate of Oman. But all of that as we move into this big mega final. Let me take a moment to appreciate the Vidyaniketan group of institutions for really making this competition bigger every year. The support, the patronage they offer us is something absolutely fascinating. A quiz, a debate, a drawing competition to celebrate 75 years of India is what we've done this year. You can keep guessing what could be in store in the future, but for now, let's shuttle back to the present, as it's my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you a charming young lady who's been on the forefront of Indian quizzing over the last couple of years. Did I say Indian? Well, be it Kuwait, be it Singapore, be it any other country in this region, she's certainly been prolific in those regions as well as a quiz host. The only professional woman quiz host in this region, a 40 under 40 listed by Business World. She's certainly been someone who's been charming kids and youngsters with her knowledge and her questions. An alumnus of NITK Surathkal, she certainly is one lady who's extremely passionate about education and the knowledge sport. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your host for the first half of this big final till I come back to you towards the end, the one and only Miss Rashmi Furtado. Over to you.
Thank you, Big Brain. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world finale of India Inside Quiz, the junior category brought to you by Vidyaniketan Group of Institutions. Let me introduce our finalists to you and then we will get cracking with the game. Our first finalist for the day is Anumegha Datta from Thakur Public School, Mumbai. Following her is Sudarshana from Vidyapeetham, Salem. Our third finalist for the day is Andrew Armstrong from Indian School, Muscat, Oman. And completing this lineup here today is Rishit from DBMS English School, Jamshedpur. Let me get into the rules of the game before we get into the first round. All the questions of this world finale are on the buzzers. Single attempt per question only, multiple attempts are not allowed. Plus 75 if you get it right, minus 75 if you get it wrong. Once your name appears on the buzzer, you have 5 seconds of time after I call out your name to unmute yourself and give me the answer. You're not allowed to press the buzzer and then take your own time to think about the answer, because in doing so you would be blocking the question to the rest of them, and that is something we do not allow. I'll wait for about 5 seconds for one of you to press the buzzer. If none of you do so, then that question would be invalid and I will move on to the next question. At any point in time when you press the buzzer, if I'm still reading out the question, I will stop reading the question, because you are indicating to me that you already know the answer. I hope all the rules are clear to you. You have gone through this entire game and these rules through the semi-finals as well, so I won't get into the details of it. Remember, this is the world finale. That means we have one winner, only one winner, and the rest of you would be joint runners-up. So let's see what happens. Let's move on to the first round of this quiz. Coming up, celebrating India. Here we go. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you have watched all of their performances in the 4 semi-finals, but the world finale is a whole different ball game. Let's see how they do here. Only one winner, plus 75, minus 75, your scoring pattern. Visuals appearing on your screen. I have 12 visuals for you in the first round. Along with the visuals, I have corresponding questions. However, if you press the buzzer while I'm reading out the question, I stop reading the question. Okay? Good luck to all of you. Question number 1 of this world finale appearing on your screen. Here we go. Where does this train travel to from Kolkata? Maitri Express is the name. From Kolkata. Anumekha, go ahead.
Bangladesh, Dhaka.
Plus 75 to you. Absolutely right. Dhaka in Bangladesh, giving them a plus 75. Let's move on to the second question of this quiz. Coming up, here we go. Identify this famous place in our country. A beautiful image there. Famous place in our country. Alright, time is up. I'm going to be very strict with the time limit. This time is the world finale. It is ought to be a little more difficult than what the rest of the rounds were so far. The answer is not that difficult. The answer I was looking for is Haji Ali in Mumbai. Haji Ali in Mumbai would have given one of you that plus 75. This probably is a different angle that we are not used to seeing. That is the reason maybe you could not identify Haji Ali. Let's move on to question number 3 coming up. Here we go. What is named after this? Andrew, go ahead. Quick on the buzzer.
Mount Everest.
Do you know his name?
George Everest is his name.
Absolutely right. Plus 75 to you. I would have given it to you with Mount Everest itself. I was just trying to push you a little bit. He is the former Surveyor General of India, George Everest, after whom Mount Everest is named. Plus 75 to Andrew. Let's move on to question number 4. Here we go. Which great writer lives in this simple lane on a mountaintop? Rishit, go ahead.
Ruskin Bond.
Plus 75 to you. Absolutely right. Ruskin Bond giving Rishit the plus 75. These finalists, they are very good quizzers. If you have seen their performances, you will know what kind of caliber they have. Let's move on to question number 5. Here we go. Which famous trophy from the world of sports? Andrew, go ahead.
Ranji Trophy.
Plus 75 to you. Ranji Trophy giving him 75 points there. Moving on to question number 6. This is India when it turned 50. Who was the Prime Minister then addressing the nation from the Red Fort? Andrew, go ahead.
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Oh, taking a negative on that one is Andrew. The answer I was looking for is I.K. Gujral. If you look at the image there, that is not Jawaharlal Nehru, but that's okay. You're a good quizzer. You can quickly make it up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the first 6 questions of the world finale. Let me tell you where our contestants stand. At this point in time, Andrew, Rishit and Anumekha, all 3 of them are on 75 points. Andrew was actually on 150 points, but he just took a negative, so he's gone back to 75. Sudarshana is yet to score, but she's a good quizzer. I think she'll get into the positives very quickly. Let's now move into question number 7 of this round, coming up on your screen now. This is a young Sunil Gavaskar with whom? Rishit, go ahead. You're on the buzzer.
This is Sunil Gavaskar with Rahul Dravid.
Plus 75 to you. Absolutely right. Rahul Dravid, the answer I was looking for. You thought I was asking about Sunil Gavaskar, didn't you? And then you took a second to figure out who the other kid was. But plus 75, he's still stuck to the 5-second limit, so he gets his 75 points. Let's move on to the 8th question. Here we go. Who is this? Rishit again, go ahead.
Bapi Lahiri.
Bapi Lahiri is absolutely right, giving Rishit 75 points. All right, a very nice doodle or an image there of Bapileri. Let's move on. Question number 9. Here we go. His name is Baba Anumegha. Go ahead. Quickly, Anumegha, you're on the buzzer.
I buzzed by mistake.
All right, taking a negative on that one, minus 75 on that to Anumegha. The question, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Baba Budan. What is he believed to have brought into India? The answer I was looking for is coffee. Coffee is what I was looking for as an answer. All right, rush of blood there for Anumegha. Let's now move on to question number 10. Here we go. Who is this kid? Sudarshana, go ahead.
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, absolutely right. Plus 75 to Sudarshana there. Moving on to question number 11 on your screen now. What is the art form? Sudarshana again, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I pressed it by mistake.
All right, you have to be careful, finalists. Minus 75, Sudarshana, I can't help it. Rules are rules for everybody. The question, ladies and gentlemen, what is the art form behind this tribute? This is, of course, a tribute to Lata Mangeshkar. You can answer, but no point, Sudarshana.
Sand.
Sand what? Sand art. Yeah.
Sand art.
If you had only waited for 2-3 seconds, you could have got your plus 75. But unfortunately, you take a minus 75 on that one. Let's move on to the last question of this round. Question number 12. Here we go. Called the Lifeline Express. What is Sudarshana? Go ahead. Quickly, Sudarshana, you're on the buzzer.
Jeevan Suraksha Express.
That's your answer?
Medical Express.
Minus 75.
Jeevan Suraksha Medical Express.
Minus 75. Sudarshana, I need you all to be careful. You all are not allowing me to finish the questions. Minus 75 to you. Called the Lifeline Express. What is special about this train in India? What is the purpose of this train was my question. The answer I was looking for. It is a hospital on rails. It's a very simple answer I was looking for. I did not want to know the name of the train. The name of the train is given to you right there on the screen. Why would I ask you again about the name of this train? Taking a minus 75 on that is Sudarshana. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to take a look at the score before we move into the next round. Scores. Well, Rishit, as of now, is on 225 points. He's leading this quiz. He hasn't taken any negatives, if I'm not wrong. So far, he's been very careful with the questions that he's taken. Andrew is on plus 75. He hasn't really answered too many questions after the last negative that he took. Sudarshana, unfortunately, took 2 negatives back to back and is now on minus 75. So Anumegha and Sudarshana have a little bit of work to do to get back into the positives. Andrew will also have to answer far more to give some sort of competition to Rishit. Let's now move on to the next round of our quiz, India on your fingertips. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the world finale of India Inside Quiz, the junior category, brought to you by Vidyaniketan Group of Institutions. In this round, nothing will appear on your screen. You have to listen to what I have to say very carefully. All the rules are absolutely the same, but be careful on when you choose to press the buzzer. Since there's nothing appearing on your screen, once you press the buzzer, I stop reading the question, and that's all the clues that you are going to get. You will not get any more clues or any part of the question after you press the buzzer. So you be very careful about when you choose to press the buzzer. All right? The rules, the scores are also the same, plus 75, minus 75. 4 questions in this round. The first question, here we go. Doordarshan allotted a slot to this entity to air a weekly broadcast called The World This Week. Which channel started thus? Anumegha, go ahead.
NDTV.
NDTV is absolutely right, giving Anumegha a plus 75 there. Let's move on to the second question. Which biscuit brand is named after a local train station in Mumbai? Andrew, go ahead.
Parley.
Plus 75 to you. Absolutely right. Parley is the answer I was looking for. Interesting trivia there. Let's move on to question number 3. Which great Indian was behind the creation of what is now Air India and held pilot license? Anumega, go ahead.
J.R.D. Tata.
J.R.D. Tata giving Anumega a plus 75. She's trying her best to give Rishit the run for her money. The last question in this round, here we go. The Karni Mata temple in Rajasthan is famous for which animal? Andrew, go ahead.
Rats.
Plus 75 to you. Absolutely right. He gets a 75 points there. Rats, the answer I was looking for. Let me tell you the question. The Karni Mata temple in Rajasthan is famous for which animal with over 25,000 of them living there? Rats is absolutely right, giving Andrew the plus 75. Scores, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the second round, Andrew and Rishit both are on 225 points. And in a quiz where there are buzzers, you can never tell who is going to win the quiz, at least until the last 2 questions. Let's see what happens here. Anumega is on 150 points. She also has a very good chance. I don't think Sudarshana is out of the game, and of course she'll have to get all the questions in the next round right for that. So let's see what happens. Big Brain will take this quiz forward and he will ensure and figure out who the winner of this world finale is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Pig Brain. Let's thank young Rashmi for taking us through this journey thus far. It's my turn now to quiz these youngsters in the final frontier of the world final of India Insight. This time, this beautiful idea created by the Vidyaniketan group of institutions has really grown and blossomed because children also are becoming very, very comfortable with digital quizzing. And the speed at which they answer, the depth of answers is truly humbling. It's also fascinating to see the quiz has become international and they're seriously competitive. You got Andrew with 225 there, and he is from the Sultanate of Oman. Behind him or with him on the same score from the beautiful city of Jamshedpur is Rishit, while Anumega from Mumbai and Sudarshana from Salem are challenging these two as we move into the final frontier. Well, truly delighted and happy to see this quiz shape up in such a huge manner. As we move to the final frontier, time for us to salute the RATNAS who have shaped 75 years of Indian independence. Here it is. The drift is something that you would understand from the title, and the scoring pattern remains the same. 75 if you get it right, 75 is what you lose if you get it wrong. The final 4 questions will determine who's going to be the world champion. Is it going to be a champion from the Sultanate of Oman this time? Is it going to be Jamshedpur? Is it going to be Mumbai? Or is Sudarshana going to do something unthinkable? She still can, because you got 4 questions to go. So she negates on the first one and hits the next 3. Well, that's like doing a Gary Sobers. But for the moment, 4 questions remain in this big world final. Question number 1, hands on the buzzer. You got to do a little bit of putting together of multiple images before you arrive at the answer. Think through it before you buzz. Don't go buzz, buzz, buzz. As we go with the first one, on your screen, here it is. Identify this great Ratna who's called a person with a throat of nectar. Andrew from Oman. Yes, Andrew.
He is Bhupen Hazarika,
Will-
who's a singer from Assam.
We'll take the young lad from Muscat into the lead. He is on 300. Behind him is Rishit. Rishit geographically would be closest to Bhupen Hazarika's home. Well, from Jamshedpur, it's not too far relatively to go to Assam than it would be from Muscat. 3 questions remaining. Here's the next one. Bharat Ratnas. Careful. On your screen. Now. Khan Market. Oh. From a station to a person to Rishit.
Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan is also known as Frontier Gandhi. He was an ardent follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He is the first foreigner to be awarded with the Bharat Ratna.
Rishit will also reach 300. Oh, what a phenomenal final this is building up to be. Andrew is on 300. Rishit is on 300. Anu Mega is on 150. What I really like about the Vidyaniketan group of institutions is, while yes, contests have to have a winner, all the remaining 3 will get the same prizes. So that is really fantastic to acknowledge and say, well, we've had more than 20,000 people over the last 2 years taking this quiz. So it's just fair to say, if you're in the world's top 4, you either win or you don't win. I mean, it's not about 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and so on. So everyone's going to be joint runner-up. But for the moment, I think it's the last 2 questions. It's a battle between Muscat and Jamshedpur. Here's the next one on your screens now. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Oh, he's going for it, is Rishit. He's not giving up. Go ahead.
This is Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa will give you a minus 75. Oh, you missed out on Invictus, which was such an important clue out there. Roliaha, the winner is a dreamer who never gives up. All of these will lead you to one great Bharat Ratna recipient. And since you got the drift on the previous one right, I genuinely thought, Rishit, you will get this right too. The answer is not Mother Teresa. The answer, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, another of a Bharat Ratna who India really recognized for being a champion of peace and non-violence. Very appropriate to give him that title. Final question. Andrew will be watching this very, very carefully. Is someone else going to go for it? Anu Mega gets it. She's going to fight Rishit for the 2nd place. So she might just buzz on 150 because she knows it's the last question and she's got nothing to lose. She might want a runner-up title. The final question, let's see how it's going to go. Superb final here, the world final of India Insight. On your screen, now. Hema, Sudarshna's gone for it. Oh, she's giving it a shot. Yeah, Sudarshna.
Lata Mangeshkar.
Hema is my real name. That is actress Hema. She also acted in films very briefly before, of course, she's a Guinness record holder, a Bharat Ratna recipient, the Legion of Honor recipient. All these lead you to one voice that we will never miss. Whether she is with us or not, the legacy of a Lata Mangeshkar, the voice of that fabulous nightingale, will continue to charm not just our lives, but the future of this nation too. Ladies and gentlemen, a tribute to a great personality this nation lost, this world lost, Lata Mangeshkar. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, India Insight has a winner. Here's the final scorecard on your screen. And, well, as we celebrated as a world final for the first time in the history of India Insight, we have an international student as the champion. What could be more appropriate in the 75th year of Indian independence that a young boy who's grown up in Muscat, in the Sultanate of Oman, gets the better of all these students who live in India? That is what is globalization. And that is really what India stands for. Absolutely fantastic. Hearty congratulations to you, Andrew Armstrong. from the Indian school Muscat at Oman as he emerges world champion at India Insight. Rishit coming so close. Mother Teresa, the one answer that created a problem, but he is world runner-up. That's a huge achievement. Well, if I was world runner-up, Rishit, that's not how I would be sitting. I would be smiling and I would be happy. Come on. You are number 2 from over 20,000 people who've played this for 2 years now. You got to smile. Sudarshana has been a brilliant competitor, not her day to day. She's brilliant on the buzzer. She comes from a small town in Salem. She competes at the national level with Gutso, and she is fantastic. Anu Megha Datta, an outstanding quizzer. She is going to win many a title in her quizzing career, is this young kid from Mumbai. Trust my words, mark my words. Today, perhaps not her day as she finishes with 150, but we're not just finding winners. Trust me when I make this statement, India Insight is actually finding the quizzers of India's future. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, as we thank all of you, institutions, teachers, heads of institutions, parents, and all you young kids for being part of this fascinating journey, which, celebrating 75 years, has extended from the quiz to the debate and the drawing competition. But as we draw curtains with the junior final, do remember, we've got the senior final coming up of India Insight. But for now, all roads lead to Muscat, to the young champion who stands tall today at India Insight 2022. From me, Pig Brain, from my young colleague Rashmi Furtado, from all of us here at Greycaps Knowledge Tribe, on behalf of the Vidyaniketan group of institutions, thank you for joining us. Do stay safe and keep celebrating India. Till we meet again, goodbye.